This morning, I talked earlier about how we see things in front of our face, like those running people in New York. And as therapists, we leap over what we see, and we go into inferring how they must feel. So here's an example of leaping over. So you ask most therapists, what do you see here? They say, oh, I see a very freaked out lady. But what you see actually is a person who sits like this. And now, when you work with Peter Levine or Pat Ogden, you know that it's important. But when you're sort of a traditional psychotherapist, as I was at the time, you sort of overlook that. And it was only when I started to experience what it's like to sit like that I thought, this is not irrelevant. And so some of you are spontaneously doing it already, huh? But sit like this for a second. Sit like this. And now say, I really love being at the networker conference. And you know, there is no way in hell you're going to feel good about anything as long as your body is frozen in a position of terror. Because when you are terrified, that is what your body does. And when some woman by the name of Nina Bull did some research where she froze people in those body positions and said, now I want you to feel love or joy or curiosity, people said, I can't. But when she froze people in the body position of openness and joy, like you might do at the end of a yoga class, let's say, and you say, now feel like you feel terror, people say, I can't do that. My body won't let me feel terror as long as I sit like this. So the body issue is a tremendously important issue, and I'm delighted that this is an issue that comes up here at the network. But then the question becomes, how can you change that? Because, like most therapists, I guess, I was better to the story and the tale that people were telling me. And I thought that was important. So Steve works with this lady, and then the next clip is of the same person at the beginning of her third session, so after 2 sessions of EMDR. And you know, wow, that's the right response. Like you go, wow. And I went, wow. I was irritated with Steve for being another one of these EMDR fanatics who was trying to convert me to a strange cult. And I go, wow. Nobody who comes to my office in 2 weeks is transformed from this into the Buddha. And again, you know, it's interesting to me. Like, I'm very much from Northern Europe. That's where I came from. I've lived here forever. But, you know, when you go to the Louvre or art museums in Europe, you don't see pictures of people sitting like this. And that's just not part of the white man's culture from over there. Yeah? That's not how I was raised. But you go to Thailand, to Burma, and Southeast Asia, a lot of people sit like this. And you wonder, why the hell is people wasting their time? And maybe they're wasting their time because when you sit like this, something happens to you. And so I always like to encourage people to just sit like this for a second, put your shoulders back. And what I particularly like about this picture is the sternocleidoid mustard muscle, this muscle over here that she sort of turns towards Steve. It's a muscle of curiosity. It's a muscle you never see in traumatized people, because traumatized people always sit like this. You never want to know what's new. And so she sits like this. Sit like this now. Take a breath, and now say, I hate Dick Cheney. It doesn't work. So there is something about changing your body and the way you sit that changes the way you take in emotions. It's very helpful.